Thank you all for coming. I know a lot of you have traveled, so we appreciate you joining us today, and it should be a great talk. I feel so grateful that Radha was able to kind of add this into her Idea Week schedule. She has the keynote over at Idea Week.
All right, good. Thank you for following the rules. Beautiful. So with that, I wanted to start with just a little community building ritual that's been done for thousands of years across the world to just get us into our bodies a little bit more. So can everyone please stand up? All right. Again, I think we forget the importance of connection through our hands and our touch. Sharing someone in your life with whom you felt a sense of belonging. How did that feel? Share some words that came up for the people in your life that made you feel like you belonged. If you can throw out some words of what these people made you feel. Connection, supported, acceptance, love, confidence, relatability, beautiful, yes, attunement. So show of hands, who at one point in their life, in your life, have you felt in a moment you did not belong? Yeah, that was me too. When I turned 30, I looked myself in the mirror. I was going to my 30th birthday and I realized, whoa, I don't belong. And it feels like all of us have felt that way, where we wake up so many days and we ask ourselves, where do we belong? And it doesn't get easier as we get older. Often as we get older, we tell ourselves even harder stories of like, oh, it's harder when I get older. It's not as easy when I get older. And so it's no wonder that 1 in 4 Americans have 0 friends to confide in, right? And it turns out that having weak social ties is as harmful to your physical health as being an alcoholic, and twice as harmful as obesity. We are sicker when we don't belong. We are more anxious, we are more depressed. The #1 cause of depression and anxiety is our lack of connection. Show of hands, who's ever written down what qualities you're looking for in a friend? Anybody? Okay, you have, nicely done. Anybody else, have you ever, I mean, adults included, right? Never in our lives do we take the time to write down what are the qualities we're looking for in a friend. For me, it was this aha moment that changed my life. It was this aha moment that made me realize that we are all in this race towards the wrong priorities, right? And so then when I started prioritizing friendships and meaningful relationships, again, everything else opened up. My friends introduced me to the careers of my dreams. So this is our opportunity to begin really asking ourselves, what are the qualities we're looking for in a friend? As soon as you begin writing down the values that matter to you, that's when all of life opens up. Okay, so show of hands, who wants to start their own business? Okay, who here? So all right, so this is an Ideas Week for entrepreneurs, right? So these are all entrepreneurs. So all right, no one wanted to invest in our company because we were women as well, and they didn't understand the product that we were serving women with because most investors are men. And so it was a very difficult, challenging time for us to get investors to even buy into our idea in the first place. And again, if we didn't have our friends to lean back on and cry with, we probably would have given up 100 times. So we again had this big idea, and we got our friends together. We're like, what do you think about this? And they just said, sure, I'll come if you guys do it. So the idea was, what if we replaced the bouncer with a hugging committee? What if we replaced the alcohol with green juice, coffee, and tea? What if we replaced the nightlife with morning life? And then all of a sudden, somebody came to the third party, called me up and came to the party and said to me, Radha, I'm moving to San Francisco. I've come to the first 3 parties. I love it so much. I want to throw this in San Francisco. I want to open this in San Francisco. Do you think we can do that? So I took 2 weeks to write down our first playbook, our community building playbook for how to launch Daybreaker, the name of this dance party, breaking the day, Daybreaker, into other cities. So wrote this playbook and trained Mustafa, our first San Francisco producer, who to this day is still our producer. And there he was. We offered the races. And the very first San Francisco event in 2014 had 400 people that came to the very first one. Open up your notes section. I'm going to give you a little cheat sheet on a community building kind of playbook that an acronym, a method that I created to support every single one of you to create your own community. So write down the word crawl, C-R-A-W-L. This is the crawl method for community building. The crawl method for community. Why I say crawl, why the acronym is called crawl is because you cannot run to build community. The C in the crawl method is defining your core values. The R in the crawl method is rituals. Why are rituals so important? We forget that actually chanting and wearing jerseys at the football game, these are rituals. The birthday song, singing happy birthday, that's a ritual. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner, these are all rituals. It makes us feel like we belong in those moments. Oh, we're sitting down for lunch with our buddy. That feels good because it's a ritual. So as you think of your big idea, what ritual can you create for your community? The A in the crawl method is aesthetics. So many businesses, so many communities don't think about aesthetics. So as you're building the first website for your big idea, remember what I'm saying. Really think about the aesthetics. What does the logo look like? What's the font look like? What's the color palette? What are the visual identity of your website? All of these elements matter. So the W in the crawl method is your why. Why are you the right person to lead this community? Why is this community viable over time? If you're starting a new business idea, the three questions that I always ask is, can I be excited about this idea? The second is, can I get lots of people excited about this idea? And the third question is, can I be excited about this idea for a very, very long time, right? Because it takes 10 years to be an overnight success, as they say. The L, the last in the crawl method, and then we're gonna go into Q&A, is language. What is the language with which you're speaking to your community? So as you go forth and build your community of your dreams for your big idea, remember to apply the crawl method to each and every one of these ideas. I can't tell you how much this has supported me in my journey of entrepreneurship.